Greetings! Welcome to Terra Prime Live. Darth Anonymous coming to you from Terra Prime headquarters. Joining me today are two of our apprentices. We've got Cedric from France. And
hello from France.
Hey. And of course, Celine. How are you doing, Celine?
Doing pretty good. And yourselves?
Very good, very good. As you see, today our topic is fan funding and future projects. A little explanation first before we get kind of into it is, as you notice, we are kind of trying to up the production value of the videos that are coming out and all that. And with that comes a larger investment in time and resources and all that kind of thing. So while in the past we've kind of totally avoided getting into fan funding type of things or situations, we're looking at it as it's probably going to be an inevitability at some point that we're going to do something like that or whatever. So one of the main points here today is to ask out there if people would be interested in stuff like that, and we're going to talk about some of the different things that we have been thinking about. Of course, Patreon and other kinds of stuff, and then of course now there's YouTube Red and paid content on YouTube, all that kind of thing. So I'll kind of go through all that. Yeah, first of all, as I said, we are trying to bring more and more kind of quality to everything that we do out there. We've been out in the community a lot more, going to conventions, Maker Fair, all that kind of thing. But it's been difficult to keep that going, keep our regular jobs going, and all that, and keeping up the pace that I had once been going at. Because it takes a little bit more time to put a video together now that there's you know, lots of other concerns and stuff. But we think it's really important. We want to bring really cool content to all of you, and so we want it to be cool to watch and fun and all of that kind of thing, and we want to keep bringing it to you. I guess did you, Cedric,
No.
did you want to talk about some of the stuff that we've been doing? Cedric's
Yes.
on our council and kind of in charge of a lot of our look now and all of that kind of thing. So the new graphics that you're seeing, a lot of those are coming from
A little part.
yeah, coming from his side, but some of the stuff that we're doing in that arena. You want to go over some of that stuff?
Yes. Yes. We work on many of our proper style for the Academy of Sabre Lazare of France, but in the same way we work with Master Anonymous to create new iconographics part for TPLA. So I can show you some of them quickly. Up. Just a moment, because I have to give the authorization of my Mac for this kind of things.
Right.
Are you seeing my screen?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Very good.
First of all, where is my desktop? Okay, so the first one is this kind of thing. Are you showing the iconographics? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a different part we are working for like a tree of progression, like in the Old Republic games.
Right.
So in the first time, we have some stuff like that. Okay, we work on a new iconographic for the achievements earned. So as you can see here is the student level of a Shisho formula, who is earned. At the beginning, you have to take some progression. I will try to show the first. Just a moment, please. It's a real mess in my desktop. Here we are. TPLA. Okay. No, it's Ataru, not this one. Not this one too. Shisho, where is my Shisho US? Shisho, yes. So it's look like something like that when you're trying to the level at initiate. You're working on Shisho, and at the beginning, the student level is for the moment locked. So you have to progress in the TPLA program. So there is a different view of here we are. So we try to create some fun stuff for the formula. The formula is like this one. And when you reach, achieve the formula, you give this kind of icono, who is the same as Master Anonymous created years ago. And I try to create another one for the acceleration. And that's the same thing. When you reach this acceleration, you give this icono achievement. And I'm working on the Dulon, on the velocities graphics. So it will be really like a real tree of progression for this kind of stuff. So that's the first part of my job for the moment. So we try to create new design, more in the modern graphic like video games, and with the old graphic as Master Anonymous create, because it's important to try to give this kind of graphic design for all the students in the world.
Whoa, that's crazy.
That's a crazy. It's a crazy.
Hey.
Yeah. Oh, it's a funny thing. Yes, yes. I'm trying to come back, please.
Yep, you're back.
No.
Nope, that's not going to work anymore.
Yes, I think I have to go out, hang out, and come back. So I will be back in a few seconds. Sorry for that.
Oh, okay. That's not going under your control. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, I'll just kind of recap. Well, you're back now, but anyway, I'll kind of recap here real quick. So what he's talking about is we're going to kind of redesign stuff. Most likely it's going to go up on the website and the forum and stuff, that will be kind of like a control panel, to where people who want to submit videos and stuff like that can go through it, and it will be more automated and kind of more slick in that sense. So that's what he was saying was those designs are kind of going for.
Okay, I'm back.
All right.
Yeah. Sorry for
now
that.
the other thing he was saying is that the symbols and stuff like that we've been using all this whole time, they're not going to change or anything like that.
Yeah.
And
at the beginning, if you can explain, I create new icono version of the old one, as we say, formula, acceleration, etc. And you have the right. The good thing is to effectively keep the old one because of all the stuff you create with, so it's not a problem. Yeah,
that brings up what you're about to say. There is a lot of material which I have created, written and stuff like that. This is just
and we try to translate it French. It's very long.
Yes, right. Well, we had this one. This one I've printed out to show at places and stuff like that. We've even got this one in our desk.
Yeah.
So that's that one right there.
Yes.
But so that's one of these things that as we start, kind of going into, we can talk about as far as fan funding stuff and that kind of thing. Did you have something else you wanted to do, or do we not want to wake that dragon again with the screen sharing?
No, it's okay. Maybe I will try. Yes, just to show just to finish with the iconographic. I think I've created this iconographic for a new version of a TPLA website. That's the point. Not especially for the paper document or PDF. Because I understood that there is a lot of change to be made with new iconos. So let's keep the old one. It's not a problem. But maybe in France we are trying to create an apps for iPhone or Android where our students with personal ED can show their progression with this kind of tree of progression.
Right. Yep.
That's why I try with other people to create new design for this kind of stuff. So I try to show what we are working with video for the TPLA logo in introduction. So I will show you. Up, it will crash again.
Oh, geez.
TPLA, and that's in this part, yes. Okay, so I hope you can hear the sound too. Where is my... Is that this one? Yes.
Well, we hear it. We don't.
Yeah. It's maybe a little too loud. So that's the thing we are trying to create. And I've got a second thing to show you. Here we are. Oh, no. Oh, you don't want with my... so we take a picture from my desktop, and I will show you. That's this one. I'm trying with... Yeah, this kind of thing. As you can see, it's the TPLA logo in a high-tech design. It will turn with lightning and so on. So it will be cool to create. I think the video introduction will with maybe 10 or 15 seconds, not more. So it will be very quick. That's this kind of thing, as you can see.
Right. I don't think we. Well.
No. Yeah. No. There is no screen. No screen. It's a little.
You see, our technology needs upgrades.
Yes. It's not as easy as I thought.
For the Jawas.
Oh yes. I will.
There you go.
I will show you this kind of thing. So that's the screen of my.
Nope.
Oh no! Come on! After Effects. Can you see the After Effects screen?
Now we can. Yes.
Because it takes a lot of.
That's very cool.
So at the beginning of the introduction, all the stuff is closed. I will reduce the quality because it's very heavy, as you can see. So yeah, so that's the thing. Can you see the beginning of the?
Yeah, I think we can.
Okay, so it will open like a flash design, and we can show the TPA logo. I think I've got some interesting things. Up. Do you show my desktop for a moment?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So the last thing I will show you is this kind. I'm trying to reproduce very cool effects from Video Copilot from Andrew Kramer, who is a really good designer, a motion designer for After Effects, and the thing is like, yeah, it's like here, this kind of thing. So will we have this kind of introduction with the TPA logo on the lightsaber and something, some stuff like that? It will be very cool. So that's the part of what I'm working on actually.
Very cool.
And I try to come back. No! I'm going away. What a mess. So in a few seconds, I will be back. Bye.
Okay. So, okay. Well, there you go. So, yes, we have lots of stuff cooking in the in the background here. So,
I promise.
No problem. There might be a slowing of certain things recently.
So I'm really sorry for this perturbance in the force, but
right.
That's okay for me now.
There we go. Very good. So yeah, thanks for the update there. We're trying to get lots of this stuff together. One thing that I can announce right now is that we've got a couple of things in the works here. One of which is we're going to start releasing videos specifically on Gemso, 4 and 5. So everybody likes Gemso and that kind of thing. So the trick here is our Gemso is going to be pretty much kind of focused on competitive sabering.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So stuff like in whatever leagues are out there, from Ludo Sport to Saber Legion to all that kind of thing. So this is stuff that's going to be specifically designed to help people, you know, compete. It's going to have fitness in it. It's going to have exercises, drills, and games and all that kind of thing. So and that's going to be pretty specific. Now, we don't know exactly. The videos will be coming out, but we don't know exactly how that's going to be fitting into everything, and that's where we're going to get into some of the other stuff later. The other thing that we have been working on, or I've been working on, is a specifically kind of progression that is focused on not necessarily on fighting, but on presentation. So like choreography and that kind of thing. We're calling it KaiCon, as is in the canon, as it were, or Legends now. I don't know if KaiCon is canon yet, but it will be pretty much similar to this. All stuff taken again from martial arts, but it will be more designed to create good interplay between people. Now, this isn't to say that it's going to be flash and no substance. Well, it's going to be substantive, but it's going to have entertainment value as its highest, you know, goal. So the techniques we're going to throw in there are real techniques, useful techniques, you know, but they may be performed in a more theatrical fashion.
Yeah.
In that kind of thing. And there'll be a system to all of that kind of thing. So hopefully this will allow people of both kind of bends who are more interested in the dueling, and people who are more interested in the choreography can more directly interact with a lot of our stuff.
Yes.
That's not going to change the actual progression that we're doing right now that people are going through here, but it's going to be kind of adjuncts to it. Again, we're not exactly sure how this all is going to fit together yet, and one of the things we're going to be talking about is maybe tying it with Patreon, or that kind of thing. So that's some of the things that we have kind of in the works. And as I alluded to, one of the things that we're thinking about is pairing it with a Patreon type of thing. Patreon is something that's come up a lot. We've gotten a lot of suggestions from fans out there, viewers, to start a Patreon type of thing. We have content and we have a lot of material that we could put in a Patreon type of setting. That's definitely true. We're still committed, though, however, and this is one of the things that we want, one of the lines we want to kind of be careful of crossing, is we do want to provide quality free material for everybody out there. Whether there's lots of different models for Patreon, but that's one of those things that we've been kind of looking at. So we'll throw the kind of question out to you guys. We'll throw it out to Celine here as kind of everybody's representative, but anybody who wants to chime in, please comment, all of that. But so Celine is somebody who is following our system and all of that kind of thing. Ideas on Patreon. Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think that would hold interest for people?
I've followed a few Patreon projects. A couple of them are obviously gamer related, and I mean they just work purely on a donation basis. One of the things that, or kind of the biggest Patreon I follow is actually the Kendo Show, put on by a former captain of the British Kendo team. And one thing that I noticed that seems to work kind of well for him is just kind of have like a tiered donation. So even though all of his YouTube videos end up on YouTube without a hard paywall. The Patreon supporters tend to get early access. They get the extra information because they can see it on the Patreon page versus the YouTube page. And also there's kind of there's kind of a reward system, so that may or may not work for TPLA. People can kind of chime in and maybe say, hey, if I subscribe for, I don't know, pick a number, $10 a month, after, is that worth like a, I don't know, a big, like a sticker, or after $20 is as a shirt? Is that something they'd be interested in? And there's a few different ways you can go, but that's, I don't know, for me, that's kind of one of the things that I'm not 100% sure of, is like, do we want to have a paywall where it's like you can't see this or you can see that, or is it you get the video but you get extra interaction, that sort of thing?
Yeah,
it's kind of the hard.
Yeah, we've been talking about both kind of models. Mm-hmm. There's the idea of having early access to, videos, or, basically videos that are created for Patreon that will mm-hmm. eventually be released to the public, but, far after the fact.
Yeah.
And then there's where things just kind of roll along. You have the donations and stuff like that, and you have access. So we would have, hangout show or hangout classes. A bunch of the instructors can start a class. People can join. Learn some stuff. That kind of thing. Those are the things that we've discussed. I mean, some of the stuff you're mentioning as well, with you have the merchandise is one thing that might come up, because access to like the printed materials and getting that kind of stuff done would be something that might hold some interest to people. But it takes money, and resources to get physical copies of anything made. Even if you do it yourself, it's resources that way. But yeah, so those are kind of some of the ideas. We're totally open to other ideas. We're looking at that. We're just the point is we want to keep bringing mm-hmm. quality stuff. Yeah. Keep moving forward.
Another, well, maybe if people would be so kind as to chime in the YouTube comments, what would people pay for, say, something like a TPLA training T-shirt sort of thing, like you're part of the TPLA crew, and if there's enough interest, then do something like I think it's Teespring that does you create your T-shirt, and you get people pay X amount for the shirt, and the more they raise, the shirts get cheaper, but they still the group that's kind of put on the Teespring sale gets a certain portion of said money as a fundraiser. I know somebody who has done it. I'd have to confirm with them how exactly it works, but I know something like that has been popular for certain podcasts in the past, and we could possibly adapt it for TPLA purposes as well.
Possibly that one.
Or, I don't know. I was actually going to say I found tech support for Cedric, but we could have like Anonymous and Nero Plushies and
yeah, right. That'd be fun.
Vornai Plushies that people could have on their desk.
TPLA
fundraisers.
Yeah, I'm not sure I would make it.
It's really sweet. I don't know exactly how Patreon works, because it's not in France. We didn't choose this kind of model. We have different crowdfunding, but not necessarily for this kind of stuff we want to maybe match on an ease. So why not? It will be a good thing that people can buy some T-shirt from TPLA or other stuff. Why not? We have to think about what kind of elements and what kind of people will be okay to give money for that. Why not? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. So we got a comment saying about 15 to 25 for a shirt from Austin Nelson. So that's a good ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. Other possible just Patreon ideas, like keeping the actual sabering elements is kind of like the free YouTube stuff, but have other sides like I don't know if it's still a thing, but I know every so often we get people asking, how do you paint your fencing helmets? Like little touches like that might be good Patreon access things. So, it's like we don't, they really, the martial arts kind of curriculum is is obviously where we want to teach everyone, but the added stuff, how to make your helmet look really cool, or some of the doing your own armor, or how to are kind of like tips and tricks for making sabers that don't explode into a million pieces when they get hit.
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now so that's Patreon, and like you said, we've got lots of different ways and models on Patreon that you can actually make that work. So we'll keep kind of looking at that. We've got a lot of people. We've got some other comments here, all coming in around 15 to 25 for T-shirts or whatever. Also, comment anything you'd like to see us, do something that would be that would interest you in a Patreon type of thing, and all that kind of thing. But anyway, the other thing that had come up is now, as we know, YouTube is kind of going through some changes.
Adpocalypse?
Not all of them popular, not all of them really helping a whole lot of people, especially people with small channels like ours. But we now have YouTube Red, and we have paid content that is available on YouTube. Again, something we are very adamant about is providing free material. However, there are ways that you can have some paid material, again, that will come out later in some form or what have you. But that's another possibility that can often, be something that can be done. Now, it's sort of very similar to doing a Patreon thing where you have Patreons and you produce content for them. So it would be sort of the same thing, except it would be pretty much within the YouTube, Google space, I guess. So there's that. Obviously, the drawback to paid content is, it's not free, and that has been one of our hallmarks, and it still is. It's still we're still going to provide it. Now, there is some stuff that we don't put out because you need somebody to actually walk you through it. You can't learn it out of a video, and it would be unsafe to do so. So that stuff we kind of keep over there. This is stuff that we do teach our apprentices and stuff like that, because we have one-on-one, face-to-face contact with them. but some of the stuff is, can cause injury, and at the very least property damage. So we try to keep that kind of stuff a little bit behind some sort of fence, if you will. Maybe not a wall, but something like that. And there are other things as we get into it that are going to be, as we get into more advanced in material, because up to now we've still kept it very basic, but as we get into more advanced material, it's going to get inherently more dangerous, to just say it bluntly. No, not dangerous as in life-threatening, but the risk of injury and equipment damage and that kind of thing starts to go up as the level of play goes. Now, if you have an instructor with you, if you're in one of our schools, like if you're with any of the schools in France, if you're in Syracuse, and you are working with somebody, or you're working in another context, whether it be HEMA or fencing or something, that stuff can, obviously translates and gets in there, and that's the kind of stuff you need to get one-on-one. Person to person is the best, because you can be, reined in if you're going too fast, and you can be spurred forward if you're going too slow. But other than that stuff, and other than that kind of progression where it's like we can't really show this because it would not be safe if you didn't have this, and we have no way to make sure that you have this. That's where the achievement system has come in, is that as people get their achievements, we know what level of skill they have in particular things, and therefore we know more about what we can expect from them. Now, we have talked about opening this process up. Right now, you go to our forum, you submit videos on our forum. It is, unfortunately, as I said, right now, kind of a slowish process, because we are all people who have lives and responsibilities that we have to take care of, prior to this. And that is where some of the fan funding thing can help, because it would give us something to replace that time with, as far as if we have to take off work or do something to make time to do more of that kind of thing, and have it not impact our income or that. Now, that's saying any fan funding stuff that we do, we're putting directly back into TPLA. That's not going into our type of things. It's going to be going into in creating more stuff, going more places to meet more people, and generally to expand access. And that's really the goal of any of this, is just we want to expand this stuff and this as a resource to as many people as we can, and get as many people involved as we can. So that's really the goal with anything that we are going to do in this arena. So that has to be served. So we've got some more comments here. Let me see what we got here. More t-shirt things. Very good. We'll check that out. Yes, merchandise of all sorts. We've got lots of ways that we can do stuff like that.
Just a thought is, do we have any particularly great friends as far as I know we had like the panel of sabersmiths a few weeks back. Is there anyone who might be willing to, say, throw together a saber to donate to TPLA for crowdfunding? Oh,
that might be something that we can do.
Yeah. I know Vader's Vault likes to really hawk their combat class at TSL. We could have, I don't know if who we're on the best of terms with right now. But if somebody had I don't know, like their combat prism saber, for example, just grasping at ideas if they wanted to get their have their combat model out, and we'll do an auction, TPLA crowdfunding, and provided by this sabersmith.
So like donations like that and stuff like that. If we were to auction something off, I would almost say that we would be auctioning it off for some other charity. We would not auction it off for our benefit. I would say that the other limitation right there is we don't want to look as if we're trying to necessarily promote any one company over the other and all of that. So that's a concern on our end as far as that goes. But donations for prizes and stuff like that could be given out or stuff like that is definitely something we can look at. In all kinds of things. I know. Let's see. We had somebody said. So we got some votes for live saber training is something that looks like it has a little bit of interest. That would be something very, I think, simple, relatively simple nowadays with technology the way it is to accomplish. We've got another one here. Are you planning to bring TPLA to the UK side? Now it is over there. It's over in Europe. It's over in France, Germany. We've got people over there, and we've had people in the UK going through there. But as we always say, if you want us in your neighborhood, the best way to do it is to go to the forum and join up, create a group in your area, and start it. So right now, I don't think we have any official. I know we don't have any official groups in the UK right now, but there's that. So there. I mean, again we're trying to expand the access that way. We've thrown out a couple of the ideas that we've got here. We do have materials that could be good creating. I would be interested. I mean, just as a project, be creating some printed materials in some fashion to distribute.
Right. Just another idea sprung to mind. I don't know if it's. I don't know if it would necessarily be within Twitch's purview, but a lot of regular streamers do have their Twitch TV channel. If we did decide to go the live classes, they have like both the subscription model and I think a lot of them just refer to it as the tip jar. People can come in and make either one-time donations or subscribe. That's within the possibility. Again, I'm not 100% aware of Twitch's terms of service, if that would be part of it. I know they launched Twitch Creative, which has like Photoshop artists, painters, and things like that. There's a possibility it might work for TPLA's benefit as well.
Yeah, that's something that could be done. As I said, the idea of doing classes online does seem fairly simple to accomplish in a variety of fashion. So, if that is something that's interesting.
For promotion of TPLA in France and in Europe, we have a project, maybe in 1 year, I hope, to create a training hall for a week with Master Anonymous in France. So we take in charge the travel, and we can make a huge training session for 1 week. So I hope it will be possible. So we are looking some area to give the opportunity to make the training session at one place in France. I don't know where exactly. Maybe in a neighborhood of Paris or in another town in France. So that's a project for maybe 1 year. So if you will get a ride in France for 1 week, it will be cool for us.
Oh, yeah, I think I could be convinced.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But we talk more in a few months because we are really it will be a huge budget, and we want to be sure some people who will come can be can sleep and eat at the same place for 1 week, and we have to prepare the budget for the plane travel for you. So we will talk about in a few months, I think.
Oh, yes. Well.
But
So yes,
it will be a great thing for Europe, because a couple of years ago, when I practiced Aikido, we had a special training session for 1 week in a town called Lagor, on Temple-sur-Lot, and it was very fun to practice 1 week, a lot of hours a day. So we can, in the project we have in mind, maybe we can practice few hours of lightsaber and few hours on other sports, depending on where we stand in the town we choose. So that's a project again.
Yeah, no, that would be. I would, yes, that would be very interesting. And if we ever get to Europe, my wife is from Europe, so we're gonna.
Yes.
I'm there.
You'll be welcome in France again.
Yes, exactly. And so, you know, and like as I said, so we will, you know, I'm trying to get out to more and more places, and all of that comes into it. So yeah, so yes, we do have, and it looks like here from the comments from lots of people that got some interest there. So it looks like that could be something to do. All right, so that is just kind of a little bit of what we have planned in this kind of arena. Keep commenting on the video. We'll be taking a look at all of this stuff over the next couple of weeks, and looking at different ideas. As far as what's going to happen, just watch the videos. The videos hopefully will be coming out, and you're going to be hopefully pleasantly surprised with how some of the videos are going to be done in the future. Not too many changes or whatever, just some bells and whistles. And I hope to be getting into more conversations with real world martial arts and other martial artists, and doing more of the Sword Lab stuff on the channel and expanding into that area and all that, because I know there's a lot of people who not only are getting interested in the other martial arts from coming into sabering, but also now we've got people from martial arts getting into sabering, and you know, we've got this interesting mix. And that is another thing that I can announce right now, which is our next Sevens Form Symposium will be about what we call the ethnography of sabering. So basically, how the community and sabering as an art and as a practice, as a sport, all of that interacts with real live martial arts and history of martial arts and evolution of martial arts, all of that kind of thing. We'll be talking to Ben Judkins, who's been on the program a bunch of times, who's also part of our program here. And he's got a lot because he wrote an excellent article on that very topic and speaks all over the world on it. So that's something to look forward to. We don't have a date for it quite yet, but we will have that probably in the next couple of weeks. This is the last show of the summer.
Yes.
And so we don't have any other shows planned here. We are going to be doing another block of them at some point. That's another thing. If you want to throw some comments and suggestions on future shows in the comments here, that would be a good place to do it. As I said, we'll be paying attention to these comments for the next couple of weeks. You can also go on our forum. I know we have a thread on the forum that has that as well. So there's all of that. So we're probably looking at fall or winter for some other shows that way. So any comments or suggestions you have on topics, just let us know. Anyway, so I guess we're kind of at the end here. As I said, this is the last show, so end of summer. We've got a couple more weeks in it. I know we're about to start camp here at HQ, the full day camp and the last camp of the summer. So busy.
Yeah.
Yep.
For a lot of us.
Yes, exactly. So I guess that is it for us. Thanks for joining us this summer in this new block of shows. We're going to do another one fairly soon. Thank you, Greg and Celine, for joining me.
Thank you for your patience. Sorry about my French accent and English practice.
Well, the visual made up for it. So there you
Goodbye.
go.
See you soon.
Yes. Everybody have a great rest of the summer. We will see you next time. If you're in the town or around Ann Arbor, you can come down to do some classes, or if you're in Syracuse or in France or anywhere like that, you can connect with us there, or see us on the forum, see us on Facebook and the Learners in Exile. All that information should be in the description very soon. Other than that, we will see you next time. So have a great day. Happy savoring.